has happened that has profound implications for European security. The town vital to both sides, at the heart of a flawed peace agreement, is falling to separatists as we drive. The ground around it changing hands fast. Hours earlier, this was a Ukrainian checkpoint. APCs still smouldering, bodies left behind. Locals emerging unscathed, the Ukrainians mostly retreating. Of course, it's better now we're not being shelled, says Svetlana, but we have no pensions.
The loss of Debaltseve is not only a strategic blow for the Ukrainian government because it gives the separatists the borders that they ideally wanted, it's also a massive blow for diplomacy because this destruction here happened on the supposed fourth day of a ceasefire.
Stalker shows us what he says is a booby trap. But it's clear the men who fled here faced a far better equipped enemy. For fighters here like Victor, this is a moment to savour with his brother. The point is we survived the Kiev junta, he says. Next to Kiev and then Berlin, Victor adds, Merkel can make us tea. Hard to separate joking from ambition when their enemy collapsed so fast. Here, they left behind armour and a massive stock of artillery shells. Even their better missiles. Not the orderly withdrawal their president claimed. It is not hard to imagine the fear felt here when you see the destruction the men lived through. This fight for land and geopolitical clout is happening in some of Europe's most desolate communities. Ukrainian soldiers fled this coal mine hours earlier, having held it for 5 months, we're told. Simple lives from poor towns, dragged into a bigger game. Victor explains the mine used to give work to miners and salaries, but who knows how long till it works again. He thinks Russia will help, and I ask, hasn't it already? The fight is continuing, but if presidents still call this a ceasefire, when will it stop?
Where are we going now is the question. Debaltseve has fallen, that's clear. It has been, frankly, an astounding defeat for Ukraine's military. Another show that the separatists are military, frankly, vastly superior to them because they have the backing of Russia, one of the biggest militaries in the region. Now, where does this go next? Do they continue to take territory? You heard there some of the ambitious, perhaps humorous, if that's the strange word to call it, statements from some of the separatist fighters, but it's redolent of really the atmosphere here. They're increasingly confident and point out, you know, we saw yesterday Vladimir Putin in Hungary call for the Ukrainian troops to surrender in Debaltseve. The next day they retreated. This is really turning into something quite symbolic for Eastern European history at this stage. There are borders being redrawn here, and there's no sense really that actually this truce is going to stop the actual fighting.